Whew. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. This is crazy out here, guys. It is cold, okay? And I realize I am the luckiest person in the world. I have this piece right here. I want to say Walker Wade gave me this. It's Cowboys. It's not. Is it a poncho? It's the, Wild West. Do 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 do. Wah, wah, wah. Like I'm Clint Eastwood. Okay. All I know is I didn't have a sweatshirt down here, and it's cold out here, so I put this sucker on because it's cold out here. And I think I'm almost out of fuel here. I didn't stop by BJ's and fill up my tanks. And that's a secret here, y'all. If you got propane tanks, don't get them exchanged because they screw you over. They only put in 3 gallons of propane. The tanks hold 4.5 gallons. So when you get them actually filled, you get more propane. You get 1.5 gallons more. Yeah. And usually it's less money when you get them done. I'm just trying to give you secrets to save money because right now, the stock market, if you got money in the stock market, you got a lot less right now, and you need to be worried about your pennies. But I had a great time this evening because DMV called me today, and it was right after we had just left the funeral home and meeting with them, making the final arrangements for my dad's service on Friday. And he called me, and he was saying, "Hey, man," he said, "do you mind if I give Boss Cowboy your information and stuff?" Because Boss Cowboy said, he said that he idolized you. I'm like, what? He said, "Yeah, man, he's been watching you for years and stuff, and he wanted to contact you and try and do a stream with you." I'm like, "Sure, no problem." I said, "The funny thing is very rarely does anybody ever ask me to be on the show. I'll be honest with you. Nobody does. It makes me wonder, did I forget my deodorant or something? Do I smell bad? What is it?" And so he got in touch with me and said, "Hey, man, I'd love to go ahead and do a live stream and stuff with you." And had a great time with it. And had some great questions. He made me blush because, he's like, made me blush and made me realize that I'm really old. Because he was talking about like way back when, before he started doing YouTube, he's like, "I watched you and I watched Law and everything else." It's like, damn, I've been doing this thing for a long time, haven't I? But I had said on there, I don't think the cake is done with the Cowboys. I don't think the cake's done. And I don't want to be premature in saying good things about the team. All I'm trying to say is I think the Cowboys are doing things differently that hopefully will get a different result. We've constantly done the exact same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, and we never got it. But I'm hoping that now they're seeming to give the coach more latitude. They're trying to make moves to bring in players sooner so that way they're there for OTAs to get in shape and learn the system. And it doesn't seem to be all about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. It's seeming to begin to seem like it's the team. Now, Boss Cowboy asked, he said, which way do you think we should go in the draft? He said, wide receiver, running back, offensive line. And my case was, I have to, as bad as it sounds, over the course of the last 5 years, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been in flux. It's not been great. The best it was 2 years ago when you had Tyron Smith, and Zach Martin. And I believe that our quarterback was runner-up MVP. But I do believe 2 years before that, he ended up having 37 TDs. It was in the conversation as well. with an offensive line that wasn't really good. Dak Prescott has been used to having a poor offensive line. Now, by no means am I advocating saying we can just put anybody on the offensive line. I'm not. But what I am advocating is the Cowboys have to get a better running back. And they have to get a quality number 2 wide receiver. If you do those two things, it's going to help out your offensive line because you can be more balanced and you can spread the field. And that's my argument in that case. And I said, ultimately, you want to fill all three. But you're not going to be able to do that as currently constructed. And my thought was, I don't know. And again, I haven't had the bandwidth and the time to sit here and research all of the draft picks and things that are out there. But unless you have a guy like Austin Jetty that falls to you, I don't know that there's a big difference between 12 and 20 in the draft. But there may be a big difference of moving from 12 to 18 and picking up a second or third round draft pick. Because when the Cowboys have traded back in the first round, Travis Frederick, you traded back, you got a third round pick, Terrence Williams. Micah Parsons, you traded back, and you got Goldston. Last year, you traded back, you got Tyler Guyton. Some people say that was a bad pick, but you also got Cooper Beebe. And that may be a way that you're able to fill more of these needs. Now, if you can't fill all of those, you know that some people are thinking that the Cowboys are thinking offensive lineman. As long as we get a guy, bottom line is this, as long as we get a guy in the first round that we can plug in and have an instant impact and makes us better, it doesn't matter if it's wide receiver, running back, or offensive line. We have to get that oomph day one from a player. We haven't had that since Tyler Smith. And we really and truly need that in the worst way. So that would be my thoughts on what we have to do in the draft. But clearly, we can't fix everything solely through the draft. We're probably going to have to make some trades and look at the secondary free agent market after the draft when teams say, surprised we got this guy. We can let go of this veteran. But I feel like the Cowboys don't want older guys. They want to get guys that are hungry, that hopefully will have a longer shelf life, that you can re-sign in the future. That's all I have to say about that. So, there you have it. That's my Cowboys talk for tonight. I was talking to Boss Cowboy after we had the stream, and he was like, "I don't know how you do it." He said, "I started watching you just because of the grind that you do." And he's like, "I don't know how you do it." I said, "You don't seem to understand. It's pretty easy for me to come out here, take a take, and just upload it, as opposed to what you're doing, where you're going through and you're spending the time on researching the player, getting the clips, editing and putting it up. The shit I do is easy. The real respect goes to those guys that break down that film." But the amazing thing is, he's been watching for all this time when it was like me, Vosh, Shengo, and Law Nation. Dallas Cowboys didn't even have one. YouTube, all the talking heads were like, YouTube. Who cares about YouTube? But now, YouTube, between YouTube and YouTube TV, they're becoming the number one platform. And now everybody is coming to YouTube. But the amazing thing is, so many of the talking heads out there, they ain't making the same hay on YouTube as they did on ESPN and so on. And I think it's because people like real people. They like that there's not an agenda. Sure, you got the bells, the whistles, the lighting, the sound effects, the cameramen, and all this multi-million-dollar stuff. In the end, that don't mean shit on YouTube. What people care about is what you actually think and how it all works together on a personal level. And I'm happy that I resonate with people. And I'm still amazed to this day that anybody watches me. The one thing that I will say, going through with my dad, going through all the pictures and things and finding video clips of him has been heartwarming. Reliving all of the different things that we've done together and the times we spent together and the things that he's taught us. And I found out today my family wants me to do his eulogy. And this may be the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. Shannon Sharp said one time, every day you are writing your eulogy. And that is truly the truth. Good people, I appreciate you guys. And remember, tell the people you love how much you love them. Because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. And hopefully, that wolf's not out here.